Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing of the brand new David Bowie box set, Brilliant Adventures. This is a collection of his albums from 1992 to 2001 with a bunch of extra stuff as well. Lists everything on the back that is in it. Now this is the fifth box in a series of box sets going back over all of Bowie's previous albums, apart from his very first one. But there's a good reason for that. It's not very good, honestly. And he kind of like disowned it, sort of. You can still pick it up from another company, but it's not part of these box sets. I would have preferred it to be, just for the sake of completeness, but it is what it is. He didn't like the album, I don't like the album. I still have it separately, but not in one of these box sets. But I'll show you the box sets that I have before we look at the new one. This is the first one. 5 years, covering 1969 to 1973. And this has all of the albums that you see there, which are actually upside down. They all come with like a big book as well. And they, as well as the actual albums, they have extra stuff in there as well, like usually live stuff and a collection of all the B-sides, outtakes, some alternate versions, stuff like that. The second box, Who Can I Be Now, 1974 to 1976. I'm not going to open every single one of these up, but these do have the listing on the back of what you have, which doesn't really want to focus, but you can kind of see that. A lot of these have unreleased albums as well, like the Gauster on that, which is it's now some of the tracks ended up on Young Americans, but it is an album that was put together and kind of like abandoned when he wanted to take a like new direction. Then we have A New Career in a New Town, 1977 to 1982. Contains all the stuff that you see there, including my favourite Bowie album, Lodger, and the 2017 mix of that as well, which is different. I prefer the original, but that's nice to have as well. And the fourth box set is called Loving the Alien, 1983 to 1988, and it includes all of that stuff. The recall albums on these are the collections of outtakes and B-sides, alternative versions, stuff like that, and they've had one of those in each of these sets, and this new one is no exception. So let's have a look at this one. So let's take the cellophane off. I should point out as well, it did come with a bit of a ding in the corner, which you can kind of see. Basically, if you order something from Amazon, expect one of the corners to be a little bit bashed in, because that happens a hell of a lot with Amazon. It's not big enough that I'm gonna like send it back and stuff like that. I mean, it is like quite a small thing, and the way I put these on my shelf, that's the side that's going to be facing out, so you're not actually going to see it. But the track listing And that on the back, that's just like a little piece of paper that comes off like that. So we get Black Tie White Noise, Bud of Suburbia, One Outside, Earthling, Hours, BBC Radio Theatre London, June 27th 2000, Toy, which is an unreleased album, and Recall 5. So let's have a look inside the box. Alongside this box there is actually a box set containing Toy and a lot of alternate versions of the tracks in that, which I am going to pick up at some point. I'm just waiting for a sale on that. This is like the main one that I wanted to get. So inside you've got all the albums as well as a book there. So we're gonna take a look at these one by one. First off, Black Tie White Noise. And these all come in like these replica LP style packaging like that. And you have like a cardboard inner with what would have been the LP packaging. I'm assuming that's the LP packaging. I don't actually have this on vinyl. And you have the CD in like these sleeves like that. A lot of people don't like Black Tie White Noise. I think it's alright, personally. It's not one of his best albums, but it's decent enough. Then we have The Bud of Suburbia, which is actually a soundtrack album from the TV series of the same name. And again, this is a pretty decent album, including The Excellent Strangers When We Meet, which would appear on his next album as well in slightly different form. And that's the inside of that. And again, you've got your CD. So the next album is actually the album that really got me into Bowie, to be honest. Outside, it was going to be part of a series of albums, but this is the only thing that ever actually got released, like containing a full like ongoing storyline throughout the albums. And there's actually a book in here as well, which I didn't expect. So we have the inside there and that. So I actually originally picked this up because I heard The Heart's Filthy Lesson over the closing credits of 7, and I really enjoyed it, so I picked up the album, and that's what got me into it. This is the book. This inside the diary of Nathan Adler. He is like one of the characters mentioned in the actual album and its songs. So this is essentially a lyric book and a few other things. It is different to the book that comes with the original CD. I don't know if this came with the original vinyl release, but it's got lyrics and stuff like that in there. Like I said, this is like a really, really solid album. I like this a lot, and I wished that he would have continued with this and done several more of these, but he didn't, unfortunately. But like I said, that is a really solid album. I like that a lot. Earthling, another decent one. This kind of like went in a different direction again. Like this period, Bowie was kind of like reinventing himself with each album. which to be honest is it was doing that in the 70s as well, to be honest. This one's actually gatefold. And how do we actually get the CD out? Oh, it's in here. It's in like the middle. Not that you can see that because I held it really awkwardly. But there's your insert for that. These are on really high quality cardboard as well. That is quite thick. And you've got your CD there as well. So they do kind of like try to replicate the LP style. These box sets are available on vinyl as well, but considering the size of the box sets, are a bit out of my price range, if I'm going to be honest, so I don't pick these up on vinyl. Next we have Hours, which is one of my least favourite Bowie albums. He kind of like, it seemed to me he kind of like wanted to mature a little bit after the previous two albums, where he'd kind of almost gone off the rails a bit with the experimentation, and this new mature Bowie is actually pretty boring Bowie, unfortunately. Again, we have a book with this, lyrics, stuff like that. Decent artwork, but like I said, the album is not great, honestly. It's just a little bit dull. And there's Urena there, Urena there. Like the artwork on this like sleeve is reflective of the album, because this particular artwork is boring as shit. There's your CD there. I'm trying to remember if there were actually some tracks on this that I did like. I'm not entirely sure. The Pretty Things Are Going to Hell actually was a decent track, but the lead-off single Thursday's Child is really dull, as is the other single 7, which is unfortunate, but it's a track on here that the box set gets its name from, Brilliant Adventure, which you can't really see because it's too small, but yeah, that is not one that I'm going to be listening to a huge amount. So this is one of the extras that we get in the box. This is a live album from 2000. I really like that photograph. That's a cool photograph. And this one is a 2 CD one. So let's have a look. We have the sleeves. And we have the CDs. So I'm really looking forward to checking this out. They did actually release another box set of live material last year, and they actually released it disc by disc. They didn't release it as like a whole box set at once. They released the box and all of the discs separately, which was a bit of a pain in the arse, and it turned out that it was selling for a huge amount online, like when you had like the full box. So because I like really needed the money after I'd got them all, I did end up selling it, but the post office lost it, and because I only had it insured up to £50, which I didn't realise at the time, but the method of postage that I used was only insured up to £50. I only got £50 back from it, and I sold it for a lot more, so I lost out like quite a lot on that, unfortunately. This is Toy. This is the unreleased album, and I hate that artwork. That artwork is just horrible. It's creepy and it's horrible. I really don't like that at all. The album's probably decent. I don't know. I've not listened to it, but yeah, that artwork is not good. Although it is apparently based on artwork that Bowie actually wanted for the album, should it ever be released, because he did kind of like plan out a lot of these box sets before he died. And we have the disc. So that is another one that I'm looking forward to checking out, and I will probably be picking up the box set of this as well at some point. And finally we have Recall 5, which has all the additional B-sides and alternate versions and single tracks, all that stuff. Which again, one day I will get myself a new webcam, but you just have to make do with blurry text at the minute, unfortunately. Yeah, there's a lot of decent looking stuff on this I'm looking forward to. So this, oh, it's actually on 3 discs. So the sleeves, they're pretty much all the same. They're just that it says like 1, 2 and 3 on it, and a bit of info on the back, and all of the discs are essentially the same as well. So that is all of the music in the box set. Can't put these straight together now. Go in. There we go. And then finally you have the book. All of them have one of these books. I've flicked through all of them. I've never actually fully read any of them. But they give like a lot of background info on the albums and stuff like that, production info, photos, etc. So it's always nice to have like an accompaniment like this on a box set, even if I personally usually don't get around to reading them. It's nice to have as kind of like an archival thing to go with it. And there you go. That is everything that was in the box, and I'm looking forward to going through all this and checking it all out. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff here that I'm really interested in. A lot of stuff that I love already, that I'm interested in listening to the remasters of, because all this is remastered. So yeah, that is a very good purchase. Not particularly cheap. This was like £95, somewhere around there. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I hope that we do continue to get these box sets. I think they could, if they wanted to, finish off with 6 box sets, but I think they'll probably stretch it to 7, honestly. Yeah, I think they're quite likely to do 2 more rather than 1 more, and pack it with a lot of extra stuff, which is fine. I'm fine with that, and I look forward to getting those when they come out. Hopefully, they usually do it yearly, but these skipped like a couple years before this box, so hopefully they go back to like the yearly schedule. But that'll be everything for now. That was, I've actually forgotten the title of it, Brilliant Adventures, the new David Bowie box set. If you enjoyed this video, please click like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.